This is Beach Cricket, and I am in a forest, of course. I am camping here for a couple of weeks, and that's what I've been doing all summer. I've been going around and camping on BLM land in northern Arizona, and it's been just wonderful. Today I wanted to address something that has come up to my attention by several of you watching my videos. You were wondering, how safe is it for a woman to be out here and solo on the road full time? Is it dangerous? Well, anything can be dangerous. But for me, I've been here living full time on the road for 2.5 years. And I just use my street smarts. I used to be a retail store manager. We were trained in a lot of the logistics concerning safety and taking care of shoplifters and all kinds of different things, scenarios, bank deposits, all that kind of stuff. And then in a former lifetime, I was married to a cop. And so he taught me a lot. And it was very valuable information that I use. The main thing is not to let fear overtake you, because if you do, you're going to cripple yourself. You're not going to be able to walk out the front door. So I encourage everybody to see how mentally prepared you are for doing any kind of endeavor. Isn't that boy right there cute? That's Roscoe. We're doing a hike this morning. Roscoe is Katie and Brett's dog. He is such a sweetheart. Love going out on walks with him. Yes, you are. Yes, I'm talking about you. And then, of course, Raleigh and Roxy. Hey, girls, you guys are on the wrong side. Come over here. Come. They are over here where fence is dividing the property. And no, that's a no-no. Anyway, you have to look out for their safety as well. Let me get a little spot over here where I can sit down and talk better. Hang on. Now, wouldn't you just love going for a nice morning stroll through this beautiful forest? It's gorgeous. Riley loves to eat veggies, so she's always stopping to take a bite of grass. It's so cute. My main reasons coming out here this morning was to see if I could see any elk. Because when we first pulled into this area of the forest, there was a whole herd of elk. And of course they dashed away. But I thought if I come in here early in the morning, I might be able to find some. So I think I'm not early enough. But anyway, getting back to getting back to the scenario about solo women on the road. Okay, you really have to first know what you're made of. And if you are a person that needs to depend on somebody, it's probably not going to be that easy for you to get out here and be stabilized in your own thinking, because you're not used to it. I have always been a pretty strong woman, so I like adventure, and I do these things not just lackadaisically. I really plan things out and make sure that I have everything, together. Now, every time I go out, going to another camp, I am always making sure I do a walk around, all completely around my rig, around Shuttle Babe. Most of you know that I'm in a 1989 shuttle bus, and I love her. She's my home. I've had her since October, so this is August, so it's coming up on the 1 year living in her and exploring, and it's been great. But I do a complete walk around. I go around and check the tires. I look at everything to make sure there's nothing falling down or loose or whatever. And then I also check all the fluids. It's very important to do that on a very consistent basis, okay? And I learned that from one of my jobs. I used to have to fleet manage some trucks when I was a manager at one of the places that I used to manage. So I learned that routine maintenance is very key to keeping your rig going. So you do that, and you always check out the area. You learn to know what's in the area that's going to help you like survive, like the stores in the area. If you have a certain diet that you need to maintain, and you only eat in a certain way, like I am eating more plant-based, so I have to have some place where I can get fresh fruit and vegetables, and that's important to me. And so things like that, you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. Also, the fear factor. Anytime you go into a scenario, it's always best to check it out and to watch people around you if you are going to camp near somebody. I like a little distance. I like to, even when I'm camping with friends, I like us all to have our own space. It just gives you some privacy, and you don't feel like you're on top of each other and hearing everything that they're doing, in their rig. So it just gives a respectability to each person, so that, excuse me, I'm having trouble talking this morning, so that it keeps things better that way. Everybody needs their privacy. Everybody needs some space. I have only, just recently you saw a video where we had to it was a collective decision by the camp, because we had some campers that the man was being very vocal, strong, threatening to his fellow lady. And that's the only scenario that I can think of in the last 2.5 years that was a little threatening. Usually, I try to think about where I'm at. I watch the people around me before I engage with them to make sure that I am safe. I am very cautious about my surroundings, and that's what I encourage you to do. Don't let fear overtake you. Be smart, but don't be foolish, because you're out here, and for the first 2 years, I was pretty much by myself. I traveled all 48 states, and, so you had to be wise. You had to make really strong judgments in your thinking so that you would be safe and that you would be secure. And I really never had any issue. I watched people. I had a 3-day camping rule that I used to implement with myself. I would park in a camping area and watch people for either 2 or 3 days. And if they seemed okay, not wild parties and, craziness going on, I would engage and talk with them later. And that seemed to work really well with me. But the main thing, whether it was 1 day or 2 day, whatever, you make that choice yourself. It's just to be very, very aware of your surroundings. That's the whole key to this lifestyle. Don't be foolish and just, you're tired and you go into a city and you're parking downtown in a real rough neighborhood. It's just judgment calls that you make that are common sense. You just make sure that you are safe. There are situations that you can put yourself into that will cause danger. You just have to be street smart about it. Okay, I really have never felt threatened myself because I implement that, and I try to make sure that my rig is safe. I always look out for the pups. The girls are really important to me, so I'm always wanting to get out there and do these adventures like walking in a forest and getting them exercise, and I'm getting exercise. Your health is a big thing too. So you should always, if you have any health issues, you should make sure that you always have what you need for that, that you're wise about whatever you need to do to make sure that any any kind of situation that you need to do for your health is taken care of. That's just common sense. I think eating healthy, exercising, getting fresh air, all those sort of things help with the safety of you. And it's just choices that we make, like living this lifestyle. It's a choice that I think has benefited me greatly. I feel so much healthier and happier since I made this choice. And I know my pets are happier too, being out here in nature and enjoying it. So the sunshine is coming on my face, so I don't know if you're getting what kind of lighting you're getting on me talking. But anyway, so with that in mind, I just want to let you know, because everybody's been asking me, that it's a personal choice that you make by coming out here and enjoying your lifestyle. You should never succumb to fear. Like I said earlier, fear does cripple you. You won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to really fully experience your life if you're going to live in fear. So when I left 2.5 years ago in Florida in a van, I was so excited. I had traveled, so it was not a big deal for me to just get in a vehicle and take off and, explore and do this lifestyle. I knew I would not have any problems, but, I knew me. And you have to know you. So if you feel like you're going to have some problems being by yourself, being scared to be alone, you might want to rethink this. Maybe do some short little trips in your area to get used to that. A lot of people aren't ever alone, You spend a lot of time alone. And you have to be really assertive in yourself to be able to do that. If you're not comfortable and you're worried you're not going to have anything to do, that what do I do with my life? How am I going to be on Wi-Fi? All that kind of stuff. I'm scared to be by myself. I need a mate with me. All those things. You have to work those things out. Maybe you're the type of person that needs to have somebody out here with you, and travel. But again, that's another whole gambit that you're going to have to deal with. It's not easy living with somebody, period. But in a close quarter situation, it makes it a little bit trying. So all the things that composite you as an individual, you're going to have to look at very carefully and know what your strengths and talents are to be able to do this lifestyle. And if you feel like there are going to be some challenges, then do some test runs. Get out here and, spend a weekend, spend a week, whatever you can do, and see how you do. See if you like being alone. See if you can be happy entertaining yourself out here. I don't have any problem at all. I have 2 little pups. I'm always going on hikes and exploring. I love to read. I do play video games, so it's important to be around Wi-Fi for me. I like making videos, as you know, and so I've got my scenario pretty much figured out of what I want to do, and I've never had a problem hanging around with myself, so it's okay for me, and I'm loving it. So anyway, I hope that clears up a few things. For me personally, this lifestyle is perfect. I have figured out what is easy for me to live and be happy. I really have to be honest. There's hardly any time that I'm fearful. I sometimes going in a big city or going through LA traffic or Boston. It was a little tricky going through that city. There were times where your adrenaline is going up and you're like, ah! I prefer nature. So when I'm in a city, the adrenaline is pumping. But as far as being fearful of doing this lifestyle and traveling around, finding spots to camp at. That's a biggie with a lot of people too. They're like, where do you camp? Da, 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 da. Well, there are so many. I mean, if you've been watching YouTube, a lot of us YouTubers have told you, look on Campedium, look at campsites.net, freecampsites.net. There is Allstays. There's all kinds of different apps that you can look up, and sometimes you can just type in on Google, free campsites in the da-da-da area, and those things will come up. So, if that's bothering you. But the key is really not to let fear cripple you and to live your life on your terms and to be happy and own your life, okay? So don't let fear cripple you. All right, beach cricket out. Wake up and live, people. It's your life. Have your adventures. All right, see you guys in the next video. Give this one a thumbs up. Ring that bell so you know when I have a video out. All right, see you later. Bye. Up, up. Up, up, Raleigh. Up, up. Good girl. Woo, my little log climber. Whee! Alrighty. Was that fun? Yeah. Oh, there she goes again. Roscoe, what are you looking for? Roscoe likes to look for lizards. Yes, he does. He's a good boy. All right, you guys, are we ready to go back to camp? Huh? Are we ready to go? All right, let's go. It's mushroom. It's orange. There's some more over here. The things you find in nature. So cool. This one's really a big one. Isn't that cool? Just all tucked in here. Wow. Look at this tree. Stands out amongst all this beautiful greenery, doesn't it? Yep. Fascinating. Boy, the sky looks beautiful today. It's going to be a gorgeous day. And now we're headed back into camp. Jack over there. Our fire pit right here. Right back there is Katie and Brett. And Shuttle Babe's right there. Ooh, that sun peeking in. And my friend Gigi's over there in her van. Yesterday I put my little hammock up. Yeah, I'm going to get in that today. Relax. This is our little fire pit. It's pretty big. We have great fires every night. Lots of wood around here. And so it's nice to be able to gather it. Because you can gather firewood that's fallen wood. And we put it here. Roscoe's always looking for lizards. And I usually put the tarps over them if it looks like a sketchy, rainy sky. So that's what we do. It's wonderful. I had to move Shuttle Babe yesterday. She was right over this area. I had to move her over here more into the sun because I wasn't getting enough solar. So it's working out now. Fantastic. Give you a little closer view. So far, my little canopy tarp contraption that I've made, and a lot of van dwellers do, is working out really well. And I made a video on this before. This tarp is a good size to go across in Shuttle Babe, so I can have my cooking area and get some shade. And these poles were like $25 at Lowe's. They're painter poles. They just open up. They open up with a click, and there you go. I also am trying to see if I can get any little hummingbirds. Jack gave me this hummingbird feeder, and so I'm hoping to see some hummingbirds. I've seen them flying around, but I haven't seen them at the feeder yet. Alrighty. Say goodbye, girls. Yeah. Beach cricket out. Say bye, Riley and Roxy. Yeah, they'd rather eat some grass. Okay. For real, beach cricket out. Bye.